Our political editor, Seun Okibaloye, joins us live now from Benin City to give us an update on the process. Over to you, Seun.
Welcome to Agbado Primary School in Akpakpava area of Benin City. Well, this is Orado local government area. And from what we can see from early in the morning, when voting, before voting started, when you see a lot of people who came here to vote, a lot of the voters who came here, that kind of activities and atmosphere seem to have changed from what we can see right behind me. What we can see basically, if my cameraman can just go down this way, you can see it's a long line of the polling units and points that are now somewhat empty. Little activities, less activities that we can see there because we're gradually moving. It's just about 24 minutes before the end of voting officially. But what we can see is that people who have voted are waiting in line, waiting for the moment when the ballot will be finally concluded. Officially, it will be concluded at 2:30 p.m. And when that is done, the sorting and the collation of ballots will commence. For those of you who may not understand what this is all about, let me show you what we have experienced in a couple of minutes. I have to use my mask so this is the line that we're talking about, the demarcation for the inner and the outer line. So this was the demarcation, and there you go, like that, up onto the front. All right, but I mean, these folks are not experiencing as much of the social distancing that is being talked about. The 2-meter social distancing is not as much being adhered to. But largely, before now, there was an inner queue, then an outer queue. After the inner queue was done, the outer queue came by. Maybe, Theophilus, let's go. Let me give you an understanding of what we have experienced so far. Just a minute, if I can just show our viewers what we have been experiencing and what. Just a moment. Thank you so much. Thank you. And so, the ballot box right here, the security official, just as we were told, 3 of them are supposed to be here. And so, of course, what they're going through is the ballot paper that are being signed and verified by the official here. And, of course, the other officials are here. The hand sanitizer present. That is the smart card reader over there. The methylated spirit for their finger is going to be used before they use the smart card reader. Any of the officials have the Z pad so that we can show it to the camera so that people can. But that Z pad is very critical in all of this exercise. There you go. That is the Z pad. If you can just show it to our viewers so that they can have a sense of what this would be used for. Just can you give us, that's the Z pad there. It's a notepad. How would you use this and when are you likely to start using it? When are you likely to start using it? The Z pad.
After the collation of the...
Sorry, speak up, please.
After the collation of the...
After the collation. So you basically will snap the result and post it, isn't it? All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is basically what is going to happen. And so let me give you a sense of what is happening. This is a big polling unit, polling area by all standard. And so you see people waiting in queue to know what is happening to their ballot. So again, let me give you a sense. If you're probably not experienced voting in Nigeria or in this exercise, this is what happens. You collect your ballot, you come behind it, you thumbprint it, and there you go, right inside the ballot box. And when you put it here, you just wait at the moment when the ballot is going to be sorted, collated, and counted. In just a moment, I will be talking to those who have looked at the exercise and assessed it, but we'll go on a break. We'll go to Lagos, go on a break, and when we come back, we'll be hearing from observers who have monitored this exercise and their views on the exercise so far. We'll be right back here at Agbado in Akpakpava area of Benin City, and we'll be right back, everyone.
So good. Apart from the report I'm getting from some places that vote buying, but we have told them anywhere they find anybody buying vote, they should let us know. And I'm happy that EFCC is also moving. And so there's a particular person they are trailing now. And apart from that, the election is peaceful, and you can see that there is no violence that in this world. So this world is peaceful and things are going well. Apart from small reports I'm getting from some other centers, like in Auchia Land Ward 4, they are buying votes there. The former local government chairman, AK Primary School, but we have also alerted the security. So apart from that, I think the violent aspect of this election so far is out.
Welcome to Agbado Primary School again in Akpakpaba area of Benin City. I'm now being joined on the news track now by the lead observer of the Nigerian Bar Association and the first vice president, John Martins, and of course the co-convener of the Civil Society Election Situation Room. Thank you so much for coming on the Channels Television. Perhaps I should begin with the lady. So far, it does look like we're rounding up in most of the areas where this election is happening. But what can you tell us based on the assessment? I know a lot of your observers, you say you have about 300 of them across the field. What are they telling you, and what do you have as information, as updates so far from the field?
Thank you very much, Shehu. The 300 observers deployed by the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room observed in extenso. But specifically, or rather in general terms, the polls in Benin City did not open on time. Most places visited polls, they were late in opening. In fact, in some particular wards, they insisted on being paid before they deployed. And so you find out that in that place, in Ward 2 Oredo, the polls opened around 10:30, and the COVID protocols were observed in protest. What am I saying? People were using facial masks, yes, but there was no social distancing like we're observing now. They were all clustered together, temperatures were not taken, no hand sanitizers, and so it appears that the number of persons were just surging, on the ad hoc staff, yes. So generally, that is what we are observing. Polls are concluded right now in most areas based on the reports we are getting. And so we are waiting for the next part.
Mr. Martins, the legal framework, the body of protocols that have been set in place, how far do you think adherents have been paid to this, not only from the INEC point of view, but from the voter and security point of view?
Well, depending on the protocol you are talking about, are you talking of, say, legal protocol?
Yeah.
Yes, I think from our observation, INEC have done, we have already, on the interim, scored them 75%. It is true that they didn't deploy as early as possible in accordance with time, but by 9 o'clock, or from, at least in Benin City, and most urban area of the rural side, had already deployed by around 9 o'clock. Voting commenced by around 9 to 10. Generally, behind the backdrop of fear of insecurity, I think everywhere have been peaceful, everywhere have been calm. There have not been cases of violence anywhere. And
so far that you know?
So far, because we have observers all around the state, we have not had. And we also have not had incidents of vote buying, though from the reports, there seem to be buying, but it's not obvious, as it used to be, where they could just do it in the open. But there are instances where people have been discussing about how much will be given, but far away from the voting point. Generally, the voting, if you look at the streets, persons have kept generally to stay at home order, and there have been soldiers and policemen at intervals around the total state. So I think the election has been peaceful. The security is okay for now. Okay. But we all know that things start taking a different shape when collision starts. But for now, everything has been peaceful. Especially against the backdrop that most people thought by now, everywhere we have been disrupted.
All right. So let's finally round up and look at the general picture. Has this election lived up to the expectation? It's supposed to be a test for INEC, a test for the security agencies, from the hype that we got in terms of how prepared the security were, how prepared INEC were. So far, what can you tell us?
The security, the police, we did not observe any infringements of rights. They were very professional so far. We commend the professionalism of the Nigerian police so far as we have observed. And then there was vote buying. There was systematic vote buying, all right, organized, strategic. You know, people, the voters were willing to sell and the buyers had money. So it was done in a very peaceful atmosphere. And then generally also, people came out, they were enthusiastic and they participated. There was no breach in security so far. But then again, people of Edo, they have a certain stripe. They're always pretentious towards violence. They shout so much, you think they will swallow the earth. But as for physical assaults, we have not witnessed any.
All right. For you, Mr. Martins, on a final note, what lesson can we take out of, on the preliminary, what lesson can we learn from this exercise so far? We've not been seeing results. The Z part will not be active until the next few minutes. But what lesson generally can we learn from this as a whole, in the whole? What lesson can we learn?
The first lesson we have to learn is that the pressmen, when they are reporting pre-election, should watch the way they report situation. Because generally, many persons have expected that there will be violence by now, that the way the report have been coming. As if the heavy was going to come down in Edo State today.
Was it the media or the gladiators?
The media. Yes.
No.
I would say the media, because if they don't report, we will not hear.
No, but
it's
if
what
the
they
politicians don't act it, would it have happened?
Yes. Now let me say this. Well, I've been saying it for the past few days that I'm very sure that this election will be violent free, and for so far so good, my prediction has come to pass. Because like I said, I have observed that it is the media that blow up these issues. I will say it with due respect. Now we are on the feet and we are not seeing the violence. So far so good. INEC has done very well. Like I said,
But you didn't give the credit to media that when media saw that there could be violence, we raised it and was nipped in the bud. What about that?
There was never going to be violence.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martins and Esther Uzoma. Thank you so much, Ms. Uzoma, for coming tonight this afternoon. Ms. Esther Uzoma is the co-convener of Election Situation Room, and Mr. Martins is the lead NBA observer for the election. Thank you so much, and it's back to you now in the studio.
Thank you very much, Sayon.